In today's day and age, wrestling has many problems. In both major companies, there are an array of areas where things need to improve and the product as a whole seems stale, compared to about 2 or 3 years ago. Since a Bloodline saga ended in WWE, it's fallen off a cliff creatively. And since the first All In, where it seemed like AEW was gaining momentum, they haven't seemed to capitalize as much as we had hoped. One of the main issues in both companies right now is a lack of believability for the top title feuds. Now, yes, of course, we know it's scripted and we know it's a show, but still there needs to be a level of unpredictability when it comes to the main world titles and to keep matches meaningful and interest levels high. It feels like all too often leading into PLEs for WWE or pay-per-views for AEW that the men and women's titles are way too predictable, and there's no real reason to believe the challengers have any hope of actually winning. So what's the point? And what is the solution, more importantly? There are many theories or ideas as to how to fix it, but I think it's quite simple. We need to steer away from the idea that the world title should be defended at every pay-per-view or PLE. Looking at the last title defenses for each of the champions, you will see that unless it's a major PLE like SummerSlam or WrestleMania, the title will basically never change hands, and the feuds leading up to the lesser PLEs are basically irrelevant. The same can be said for AEW, and to be honest, they are an even worse culprit for this. Not in the sense of only changing titles at major pay-per-views like All In, All Out, or Revolution, but most of their major title defenses don't feel like there is any real possibility of the title changing hands. Both companies would be better served building more legitimate feuds and contenders over long story builds and periods of time, rather than throwing in challenges every month just to fill a card. Not only would this make the world title matches more legitimate and interesting to watch, but it would elevate the mid-card titles as they would have more time to shine on the monthly PLEs or pay-per-views, where they can headline cards and build talent better, rather than getting buried in a clutter-filled card. The aim of the game and the importance should be more on realistic storytelling and drama. In-ring action is important, of course, but more legitimized stories would elevate both products out of sight. So what do you think about this idea? Should the world titles be defended at every major show, or should they put more time into legitimate stories and world title matches?